Hey, what's happening, everybody? Wyatt Hurts here, back with some more Battlefield 4 multiplayer content for the channel, and this time we are looking at, what is this? This is the Lancang Dam. This is TDM on Lancang Dam. I think this is the first time that I've showcased this map up on the channel. It's a pretty, it's a small server. It's going to be a short enough game, and unfortunately, it's going to be a damn loss on this damn dam. You know what I'm saying? God. Unfortunately. Anyway, things are kind of a shaky start for me here. I did get the Claymore down. I was hoping to get revenge with that Claymore, but unfortunately one of my teammates came up the stairs and put him down before he wandered into my danger zone. So that was unfortunate, getting bucked down up there. A slippery start, but I do end up, I think I end up finishing second when it's all said and done, and a really solid run, a good KDR. I think it was a 3-to-1 KDR when it was all when the match finally did wrap, And despite it being a loss, I thought, I've been spending quite a bit of time with this weapon, this U-100 mk5, and this LMG, and it gave me this map or this round in particular gives me the opportunity to kind of do a full numbers rundown and really showcase this weapon. So that's what we're gonna do. Simply because the TDM rounds and the domination rounds, there's no vehicles, so it's all groundwork, and it gives me the opportunity to get in here and take a look at a weapon that I've been enjoying, that I can put my 2 cents in on. And so, like I said, a full numbers rundown coming in at the end of the round, so stay tuned for that, and I'll give you my thoughts. We'll take a look at some of the modifications here early on, though. The laser sight's on there for a boost to hipfire accuracy. It's just a standard barrel in there. I don't feel like it needs any modification. You guys may feel differently if you're playing the game and you've been using this gun, but I didn't feel like it needed anything. And the stubby grip is in there for a boost to accuracy. It reduces the auto fire penalty by 15%. And lastly, the Coyote red dot sight's on there, good for kind of mid-range, close-range gameplay. And right there, I mean, it's perfectly displayed with a double kill rolling in as two guys charging, kind of a little too wildly, perhaps a little too carelessly, making a charge for these stairs, and I just managed. It was just good timing. I just stepped out on them, had them both lined up relatively nicely. Now right here, this was kind of bad. I should have had to jump on him. I should have just kind of waited for him to continue to run on by, waited for him to put a little bit more distance between myself and him before I started trying to gun him down. Really did kind of just jump the gun there, And unfortunately, with this weapon, those seem to be where those encounters where it's kind of like right up in your face. It's hip to hip against an enemy, hip fire to hip fire against an enemy. I have a tendency to fall with this weapon. I don't know what it is. It could be the low end hip fire accuracy, that most LMGs will have when compared against other weapon classes. It could be that it just doesn't have the damage. I don't know what it is, but I find that when I'm going hip to hip against a guy right up in your face, kind of some nail biting action, I have a tendency to get put down, Anyway, I'm out here working the perimeter of the map, following a little bit of activity out here, and there's a bit of an infestation of them posted up in this rubble, and I'm cleaning it out. They have a motion sensor down and everything. God damn it! And I start taking some snap and pop in the back here. Unfortunately, the man was not on the mark. He should have just kept on walking. He thought, he made the decision after missing those first few shots. He made the decision to kind of hightail it out of there, which was a good decision, but it was one made too late, sir, and he paid for it. Now, unfortunately, with all the action that I was putting, all the noise I was making, the ruckus that I was causing back there on the perimeter of the map, coming out here, Dutch Rudder was right on the mark. I think he was probably looking for me, and that's why I'm spending so much time in here. Was just checking his numbers, wanted to make sure that maybe it wasn't running a hack of some kind. It just felt odd. I was a little annoyed that he was kind of right on the ball, as I came over that ledge, and he had me lined up beautifully. But I would imagine perhaps I was spotted. Perhaps he was just paying good attention to his map, his mini map, and was aware that I was back there. Now I'm coming in here looking for him, and he gets to jump on me again. I was hoping that he'd still be posted up in that kind of the corner that he was at, but no, he was pushing forward. The old Dutch Rudder. He does love his 420, and at this point I'm fuming. And I'm praying for a good spawn. I get it. I was tracking his motion in the kill cam, and I was hoping for a good spawn, and I get it, and here I am. I'm looking for him one more time. I swear I had steam coming out my ears looking for this Dutch Rudder. Here we go, and gunning him down. Finally, I found him. Beautiful. And, sir, tea is served, gentlemen. Tea is served. One straight prone drop, and then a few just down to the knee. Didn't want to brutalize him too badly. Hopefully he enjoyed that pot of tea I made on his face, and hopefully the team comes over and helps themselves to a cup or two. You know what I'm saying? Good. Anyway, so posting up here. Now, this weapon Not great across those longer ranges, at least how it's set up. I have wielded this weapon. I have carried this weapon with, you know, kind of a mid-range sight on there, you know, the ACOG, I think it's the PKS scope, stuff like that have like 3.4 or 4 times zoom, and this weapon is relatively effective at those ranges when you have the proper sight on there, just for that, you know, just so you have greater clarity at those longer distances. Now right here I'm facing squaring off against 2 guys. I redirect nicely there on the guy that was charging my way, and just some good luck as I go prone here, looking to kind of just hunker down, you know, and duck and cover, right? And just luckily my teammate backing me up there managed to gun down that second man, because I don't know if I was going to be able to finish him off or not. Anyway, I think we've reached the point. Up until this point, we were leading the match for the most part by a few kills, and this is the point where they seem to have, you know, turned the tide. You know, looking at the score, 43-40, as I see it, as I'm calling it, and so they've managed to pull into the lead a little bit. And they never really completely walk away with it until maybe coming down the final stretch, where they increase the gap to about 10. But for the most part, this was a really close round. It could have gone either way. And I think right now I'm on kind of at the start of my biggest run. I think I go on a 10-kill streak. At the very least, it was a 10-kill. Maybe a couple more than that. Now right here, you can see the heavy explosives are coming in. They don't want... I mean, this is a bad position for me to be in. Well, for the team, you know, because they're spawning down there, you know, so you don't want this guy sitting on this corner balcony putting fire into your spawn as guys are coming to life, you know. But they've spread out back there. They have me ranged, and they have kind of the advantage on me. And they forced me. They flushed me out of my position. I didn't want guys charging the stairs at me, while I was also dealing with guys on the kind of on the hillside, putting fire my way through the windows. So I thought it best just to kind of regroup, circle around, try and get a flank in on these fools. Well, not the fools, but you know what I'm saying. And I step out there, put down one man, take some serious damage, all the way down to 1 bar of health, or 1% health, and I find myself, I don't know what those are. I mean, they're just like these little side rooms all tiled up. It looks like they're unfinished washrooms, unfinished shittas that haven't had the plumbing installed yet, you know? So I kind of get lost over there for a second. Finally, I make my way out the door, and as I did, I had seen a little bit of activity on radar, you know, on the mini-map, and I didn't want them getting a stronghold on this side of the building as well. So I thought I would move over here. I had only seen one guy, and there he was. It was Dutch Rudder, even better. Makes the kill all that sweeter, you know, that much sweeter. So I put him down. I just didn't want them getting a kind of a stranglehold on both sides, both back sides of the building. You know, I know that they're strong over here on this back stretch, so I was just trying to keep them contained, you know, before I started to move on. And it was good, because I still needed my health to finish recharge, and I need to get a little bit of ammo, and then I've done all that now. And again, right here, you can see my difficulties in these situations, kind of face to face, hip to hip. You know, luckily he was unaware of my presence until it was too late. It gave me enough time to make the necessary adjustments and chase him down. Now this weapon, I do like it. I mean, as far as when you stack it up against the rest of the LMGs that are in there, this has a high rate of or a high number of. Goddamn it. Spit it out, Wyatt. This has a high rating for stability, okay? It's sitting at a 55. We will see the numbers when it's all said and done. Now, right here, I'm at the end of my my kill streak, because right here, this guy, I think he's up on the rooftop of the building. He's either on the second floor or he's posted up on the rooftop, but he is suppressing me beautifully. I'm really just forced to duck and cover one more time. I'm just waiting for the health to recharge a little bit. If I can get it up to about 50, I'm planning to make a run for some better cover. Unfortunately, you know, I've kicked up a hornet's nest back here, and was I getting teabagged there? That's what it felt like for a second. I don't know. I have to go to the instant replay. It looked like a knee was being dropped, though. It looked like a knee was being dropped. But anyway, so I get put down back there, and there's really beautiful teamwork between the man that was suppressing me and the man that was coming in to finish me off. Now, perhaps I'd been spotted, you know. It could have been that I was spotted, or it could have just been that the team was aware, you know, that I was kicking up a storm back there, you know, and putting down some of their teammates. But it was really nice when, you know, not for me, but it was really nice, good to see that teamwork. Just as the man was coming around to kind of shoot me in the back and to finish me off, his teammate who had me suppressed put some really nice suppression fire down just to make sure that I didn't kick up too much of a fuss as the end approached, right? So that was nice. A good little display of teamwork by the man that was suppressing me up on that rooftop. So right here, you know, I did step out. Dutch rudder, damn it, Dutch, coming in just as the match is winding down to get the better of me. So we end up going two kills for me, 3 kills for him. So he did get the better of me this round, got me in the back. I thought I was playing it well back there, you know. I missed the shot as I stepped out the door. I got the claymore down. Was hoping the charge was going to come. Unfortunately, it came from the wrong direction, and I got shot in the back. But I thought it was a pretty solid performance for the most part. Now, this weapon in particular, I think I'll just save it for the end. But this weapon, the way it's set up, the way I'm using it right now, I like it for kind of the mobile killing. You know, running patrols, not hardcore running gun, but certainly running patrols. It feels good, at least as far as when compared to other LMGs. Although I haven't spent much time with any of the other LMGs, it feels good using this weapon on a mobile
can you hear me, brother?
On running a patrol, you know, through the map or through an area. You know, whereas with some of the LMGs, the way they fire erratically, they have high damage, you know, and but they fire erratically, so they're more suited for just kind of throwing a bipod on there and posting up at a little wall somewhere, you know, or something like that. Posting up where you have a good line of sight and you can kind of rain down death. This weapon much more suited for mobile play. I guess that's what I'm trying to say with its strong stability numbers, you know. Anyway, there it is, 18-6. I know that the first place man, I didn't get a chance to see the name, but I'm sitting 18-6. I finished second on the team. Unfortunately, it was a loss that came in. Some of the guys have bailed, unfortunately, so I can't really do, names and numbers here, but I will throw in extra bit there with a 12 and 8, pretty solid numbers. And on the other side, Flamin' Farts with a 9 and 2. What was his name? Dutch Rudder. He's disappeared from the game, so I don't get to see what his final numbers were. And the last guy in there, Jesse Max, there with a 10 and 6. That's not too bad. Even Vio there with a 9 and 0, sitting 5th on the winning team. You know, those are some nice numbers. That's a beautiful KDR. So anyway, let's bring up the gun now. Let's take a look at this weapon, this U-100. So we're looking at, and there it is right there. So we're looking at the laser sight. We're looking at just having a standard barrel on there, the stubby grips on there, and the Coyote red dot sight. Now the rest of the gear that I had in there, you know, you saw the claymores. I also had the ammo boxes for, you know, which perhaps I didn't use often enough for to support the team. I know that I've given guys a hard time about that in the past, not dropping ammo boxes often enough. But in a TDM game, you know. Well, I guess in a TDM game, when you're going on a nice run, you really do need those ammo boxes to be dropped. Anyway, the last thing I had in there were the RGO impacts. Now, let's take a look at the numbers. Here they come right now, and then I'll kind of give my 2 cents or my thoughts on this weapon. So there it is. Damage coming in, starting at 30, ending at 30. Accuracy starting at 40, ending at 44 with that, because of that stubby grip that was on there, just kind of reducing the automatic fire penalty by 15%. The hip fire starting at 30, ending at 40 because of that laser sight, and those are kind of low-end numbers, but they're high-end numbers when stacked up against the rest of the LMGs. But on an overall kind of basis, when stacked up against the rest of the weapons, those are really low-end numbers, you know. Range 28, low-end when stacked up against the rest of the LMGs, but a lot of those LMGs are more suited for, as I said, slapping a bipod on there and posting up, you know, and just holding your ground and working a traffic lane or two with a great line of sight, you know. Lastly, and really the best number that this weapon had was the stability. When you're stacking that up against the rest of the LMGs, the rest of the weapons in the class, that's a high number. I think there was only one other weapon in there that had a higher stability rating than this U-100. So that's what makes this weapon kind of that. It's a mobile weapon, you know. It's got a clip size of a magazine size of 45 rounds and a rate of fire of 590. Now, the rate of fire on this gun is low end as well. Now, when I say low end or high end, it's really just in comparison to the rest of the LMGs, the rest of the weapons in that class, you know. So let's take a look at it. I mean, the damage is relatively average. You know, it's not great, but stacked up against the rest of the LMGs, it's low. It's not good at all. So you know, if the gun perhaps had a higher rate of fire. Now, I like this for, like I said, for the mobility, for mobility killing, for running patrols, not hard ass running gunning, but it's good for being on the move. You know, and can be wielded depending on the sight that you have on there. Is effective across all the ranges. You know, I just opted to go more for in-your-face action, you know, close to mid-range where guys are charging in at me. You know, if I'm on the move, then you have to figure I'm closing the distance between the enemy, and working the mid-range is really where I want to be using this weapon as it's currently set up. So, you know, it's good. It's good. It felt comfortable in my hands. For you guys that that are playing this game, this really is the introduction gun into that. Well, not right into the support class, but into that subclass of the support class with the LMGs, you know. So this, you're going to have to, if you're playing this game, you probably have used this weapon if you've been trying to dive into that LMG subclass, because you have to use it to kind of unlock the rest of the weapons along the way, you know. So I haven't spent much time with the rest of them. Maybe we'll come back to the U-100 and I'll give another numbers rundown, or, you know, just give a little... addition to my thoughts once I've spent a little bit more time with some of the other weapons in the LMG class, you know. But looking at numbers alone, this gun, you know, it's good for mobility, not great for posting up, good for mobility. But you know, the damage is low, the accuracy is kind of standard, a standard number. The hip fire was high. You know, high rating for hip fire when compared against the rest of the LMGs, but low hip fire when compared against the kind of the greater combination of weapons that are out there. And the range was low and the stability was high, so it has stability working for it. And that's really about it. But you know, the gun is balanced nicely for mobile killing. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by and tuning in. Hopefully that made sense. You know, hopefully it made sense, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. And thanks for stopping by and tuning in and checking it out. Hopefully you'll leave a like, a comment, and a sub to the channel if you're new around here and you haven't already. And until next time, well, remember why it hurts. Later.